Hey guys, it's Kirsten with a video I am very excited to share with you because it's my first cooking video on the channel. Cooking is one of my favorite hobbies, it is my passion. I love creating healthy recipes and challenging myself to come up with unique things I haven't seen before that taste awesome but fuel my body to perform at its peak. So today I created a recipe that I thought was very appropriate for this back to school kind of time we're in right now. I like to meal prep this on Saturday or Sunday, and I keep it and have it for 6 portions for breakfast every day throughout the week. And it is just perfect. It's so quick, so easy. It takes me about 5 minutes to assemble it and put it in the oven. And after that, I just get it out in the morning. I crumble it over some Greek yogurt. It, by the way, my recipe that I'm sharing with you, is a baked oatmeal that has peaches in it. But I have created tons of different flavors. There, you can basically, like, the sky's the limit with this thing. I put strawberries in it, blueberries, chocolate chips, and zucchini. Like, that was really good. Weird, but good. So really, a lot of this stuff in the recipe is actually optional. So really, it's a lot of pantry ingredients, and you could just go to town and create whatever you want with it. But this is the basic recipe I created, and I hope you guys really like it. It's something that you could cut into smaller pieces and take with you as a snack, eat it as dessert, or like I do, I crumble it over Greek yogurt, like I said, just plain non-fat Greek yogurt, and I put a little honey on top so I can control the amount of sugar that's in my breakfast. Yeah, you can even eat it plain by itself if you're dairy-free. This is a dairy-free recipe, and that is really good as well. So, yep, like I said, the sky's the limit with this. I do want to note that you do need to use old-fashioned oats for this recipe. They don't have to be gluten-free like mine are, but just make sure they're not instant oats because that's going to cook differently and kind of mess things up. Then also, you can adjust the amount of fruit that's in the recipe. Like I'll mention later on, I used 1 large banana. Sometimes I use 2, depending on how much fruit, like peach stuff I'm putting in it. And the protein powder is also optional, although it makes it better, I think. Just use any vanilla protein powder you have, although I like the Vega brand because you get 2 servings of veggies in 1 scoop, so just an added bonus. Anyway, I'm just going to stop talking now and get into the recipe. Okay, so like I mentioned, for the ingredients I have 1 very large banana, 2 peaches here, though I only used 1.5 according to how much I desired. I used 1 handful of pecans, though you could use any nuts really. Some gluten-free rolled oats, and those are of course old-fashioned. Some baking powder, unsweetened vanilla almond milk, vanilla extract, cinnamon, and the Vega protein powder. And of course, for good measure, just a little pinch of kosher salt. So here I am. If you have not familiarized yourself with how to cut a peach, here's how it starts. You just cut it around in a circle around the pit and then twist it apart. Mine was pretty hard, so it gave me some trouble, but I got it eventually, as you see here. Then I just cut it into slices from there after I pulled out the pit and put it on its side and made little dices. And this process continued until I had a whole bunch of little pieces, like so. Now I just moved those aside so then I could chop my pecans and get the chopping all done so we could get to mixing. Be careful with this step if you haven't used a knife very often. You might want your mom or dad to do it if you're pretty young. Now onto the mixing step, like I said, but first we do have to peel the banana and put it into little chunks in the bowl so that it can easily be mashed. The banana is what's going to help bind the recipe together and then also give it a little extra sweetness. Just make sure it's nice and smooth. Then I just added about a teaspoon of vanilla extract and 2 cups of the rolled oats. Now I was very generous with the cinnamon. I made sure to get a good quality cinnamon so that I get the nutritional benefits and of course the awesome flavor. then 1 teaspoon of baking powder. That'll help it rise, of course. Then that little pinch of kosher salt, which is going to bring out the flavor of all the ingredients. And of course the 1 scoop of the Vega protein powder. It's in the vanilla flavor, which is going to give it some really awesome flavor, and since it's only sweetened with stevia, it'll add some sweetness but no extra sugar. I just mixed that together a little bit so that when I added the almond milk next, it just mixes together a little bit more evenly and I won't have any lumps. Other than the oats, because of course those create lumps. So I started with 1 cup of almond milk, and after I mixed that together it looked fine, but then when I added in the peaches and the nuts it was a little bit too dry, so I added in another ½ cup later. It's really important in this recipe that there's plenty of liquid to cover the oats, so that it might seem a little bit too moist when you put it in the baking dish, but it's going to help the oats absorb something so that they're not hard after the end of the baking process. And here, as you see, I added just another ½ cup. And voila, that was the perfect consistency. So 1½ cups in total of the almond milk. Boom! Alright, so now I just sprayed my baking dish. This is a 9x9 pan with some coconut oil spray, though you could use any sort of nonstick spray that you have around. Then of course I just put the mixture into the pan, and I made sure to smooth it out once it was in there, just so that the whole thing cooks evenly and that I just had a nice final product. Just to finish it off, I did add a bit more cinnamon to make it look nicer and add more flavor, but as you will also see, I went a little bit crazy because my thing didn't have a lid. Oh well. But it gets a thumbs up regardless. So next, I had already preheated my oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and I just put it in there for 30 to 35 minutes. Now, if you're eating this on its own and you want it to act more like a bar, I would recommend doing it for about 40 minutes or so. So once I took it out, the way I test it is I just press on the middle a little bit with my finger, and if it's firm, that means it's done. As long as it's not too brown around the edges, it comes out beautiful like this. Maybe I just eat too many vegetables, but to me this is food porn. So good. Yum. Okay, thanks for sticking with me if you made it through the whole video. I really hope that you guys recreate it and enjoy it as much as I do on a weekly basis. See you guys next time. Bye.